and thank you for joining me for the Vampire Talk Show. I'm your host, Valaine. Val to my friends. My roommate discovered my coffin under the concrete floor of her new house and woke me up from a 100-year nap. Now I'm reconnecting with old friends, making new ones, and of course, making a podcast. We have a jovial guest for you tonight, but first, I need to get into robotics. Yes, robotics. So there's been an obsession with robots, with humans for the last, I don't know, 100 years, it seems. But lately, robots seem to be getting quite scary. Quite scary indeed. Does nobody watch post-apocalyptic movies about robot apocalypse anymore? I mean, there's all this talk about Elon Musk robots, and apparently there's a big to-do scandal because, well, it seems that his robots weren't actually autonomous. And people are upset about that. Why are people upset that his robots weren't actually autonomous? Do we not see the Cybertruck? Did we not see SpaceX? This man being in charge of autonomous robots is probably going to be the apocalypse that we all fear. So, why exactly are we upset about this? And I'm sorry, and anything that Boston Dynamics comes out with looks like it's a breath away from being the day the Earth stood still. So, humans love flirting with death and danger, and I will never understand it. And, humans are great at making satirical, dark works about what if technology takes over? What if robots ruled the world? We have Terminator, we have Black Mirror episodes, but yet it seems like these things are not so much a warning as they are an inspiration to humans with a death wish for some reason. I swear I'll never get around to it. But I will say, anytime that I feel that we're getting a little too AI, a little too robotic, a little too close to that scary apocalypse, all I have to do is go to a Denny's and see the food delivering robot fail miraculously almost every time. It's comforting thinking about that little robot just going around in circles and cooling off everyone's food. Anyway, I digress, and I think we should just get on with the show. My guest this evening is brand new to my life, and I'm not quite sure where Allie procured this guest, but we're going to find out. We're going to get to know this person, this entity, together. Please welcome Ralph the Phantom Clown.
Well, hello, Valaine.
Hello.
You didn't pronounce my name correctly, my dear.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Yes, because I was concerned. I wasn't sure if it was going to be Ralph or Ralph or Ralph, I mean, I knew.
Nobody in your dimension can. It's just Ralph.
Fantastic, darling. I'm so glad. Well, thank you for coming through the portal into the studio. Thank you for your time. And I'm so glad that you're here. So you are a clown, but you are a phantom clown. What is the deal with the phantom part of the clowning here?
Well, I'm only a phantom in your dimension, of course. In the clown realm, I'm as physical as you.
Oh, so like an alternate dimensional clown then you'd say, maybe?
Yes, but phantom's easier. It rolls off the tongue more nicely.
Yes, I suppose alternate dimensional clown is probably just a mouthful. Yes, so a phantom clown. So you just clown in your kind of profession in your life, or do you have like a side gig, a side business?
Well, clowning across the dimensions is different depending on where you are.
Oh, hmm.
For instance, in your dimension, People don't have a very good sense of humor.
Oh,
I like to leave severed hands lying around, and you people don't find that funny. What is wrong with this dimension?
I don't rightly know. I do not rightly know. Because severed hands, I mean, I think are a little bit funny. But I'm not human. So humans are probably the ones that have the most.
Well, you have more experience, Verlaine. You are a gossip columnist. Tell me, did they think like feet are funnier? Noses, perhaps? Noses are great. I can take my nose off right now, see?
Oh my
Woo!
goodness.
That will play very well in your audio medium.
I think noses are funnier than hands, but feet I think are funnier than hands. Do you agree?
Yes, but feet are also a little bit gross.
Feet are gross. Yes. Actually, I think feet of as weird hands. Like they're hands, but they're weirder, you know? The weird part of grabby things that are human, sort of. But that's
Yes, well, the human is rather poorly designed, I think.
absolutely not very ergonomic, especially for those who might eat them. Um, yeah.
They break so easily.
Oh, very fragile, those humans. Absolutely. Um, well, I'm sorry they have such a poor sense of humor. Is there another dimension that has your kind of sense of humor?
Well, the clown realm, naturally. You
Naturally.
really should visit sometime, Val. I think you'd love it.
I would love to visit the clown realm. I think it would be wonderful, especially if they have any of those artworks by, oh, what's that gentleman's name? The one with the clowns in the clouds. Is that a depiction of your dimension?
Oh, I don't think I'm familiar.
There are these clown paintings that are terrifying if you are terrified of clowns. How do you feel about people being terrified of clowns but don't find severed hands funny?
Well, to be perfectly honest, the clowns in your dimension are a little scary.
Oh, so they're different then. Hmm?
Balloon animals, terrifying. You people think that's funny? A
How do
pie in the face? You could kill someone.
I mean, drowning in pie, I would say, is one way that I think I would like to go, if I had to.
I'm sure you prefer the blood pie.
Absolutely blood pie, always. Here's that picture that I was talking about. So there's an artist that does these clown paintings of I always thought of them as clowns in heaven.
Oh, yes, that looks much like my home.
Yes, I feel, and I will put this up on Instagram, on the Vampire Talk Show Instagram, so you know what I'm talking about. There's a series of paintings of these clowns hanging out in clown clouds and whatnot, and it can be unsettling to people with cl a fear of clowns.
Coulrophobia, I think they call it.
Yes, yes. I'm not so great with the vernacular. So um but yes, I do agree that the clowns in this realm, in on the earthly realm, can be a little bit creepy at times, especially when they drop their clown persona. If you've ever seen that, it's not the greatest. But your clown persona, you, correct?
Of course, of course, of course. You must commit to the bit for sure. But this is all me. What you see is quite what you get.
Fantastic. So, have you visited Earth very often? I mean, I'm glad that you're here with us right now, but do you get here often? Do you do anything like vacation here or anything?
Well, to be perfectly frank with you, pal, I'm a little tired of the place, but I'm trapped here.
You're trapped here. Oh
I
no.
came through the clown portal, as one does, you know.
Uh-huh.
And some wizard closed it behind me.
Oh, oh, that's terrible. Oh, I'm
So now I'm stuck. I'm stuck. And then I wandered through another portal that I found and ended up in this attic.
Oh no. Well,
And
hope
this fine young girl named Ellie, Ellie, is it?
yes,
She
Allie.
told me that I could be on the show. So here I am.
Good find, Allie. Good job, girl. Um, well, I'm sorry that you're trapped here. Are you making the best of it? How long have you been trapped here on the earthly realm?
Oh, since about April or so last year, it's hard for me to keep track of time here, you know. We don't
Oh,
really have it where I'm from.
oh yes. Well, yeah, and it depends on where you are in the world, like how they keep track of time and everything, and time is relative, etc., etc. I get it. And also it depends on, are you immortal or no?
Well, it's a pointless question when you ask a phantom clown. I've existed since time immemorial. I presume I'll just keep going forever, but who knows?
Well, I feel like I can safely assume that you're not just a mere mortal. So time,
Well, I certainly hope not, but this place isn't doing me any favors.
tell me about it. I cannot wait to get to the seventh dimension and go to the spa again. Because Lord knows I need it. I don't know what it is with Earth these days. It just really, all the free radicals, I think, are really putting a damper on my immortality. Uh,
Oh, it's certainly not what it once was. I mean, anytime I'd come through a portal, sometimes it would be 2023, sometimes it would be 3023, and other times it would be 523. It doesn't really, time doesn't work the same way, but it's always, it was a much nicer place years ago, centuries ago. So how old are you, my dear?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm getting over a little bit of a I have the sniffles. It's not like the common cold like humans get.
A
Sniffles
bit of bad blood, perhaps?
exactly. So
More like food poisoning for you, then.
exactly. So anytime that I feed on a human that might be sick or something like that, I get the sniffles. Which cold-like symptoms, but it's not actually the cold. It's kind of like when you get a flu shot and you feel kind of fluish a little bit the day after. Same deal, kind of different because it's through, eating blood of humans.
Well, I have something for you that might help.
Oh, yes.
It's a bouquet of wolfsbane.
Oh, oh, Wolfsbane. Oh, how thoughtful. You
Shall
mind?
I put it in a vase?
Yeah, just put it way over there.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
I
thank you.
will. I will.
Ah, that's so lovely.
Don't
Actually,
let your human touch it. She'll die.
yeah, no, she'll definitely not feel so well. Yes, and yes, Allie, don't touch that. No, just keep it right over there.
Oh, squirt her with a water bottle if she gets too close.
That
I
actually
I
works.
have some club soda handy if you need that.
Oh, a seltzer bottle. Yes, of course. Uh,
Fixes everything.
She is quite responsive to that, I will say. It has been a godsend. Because there are times when she wants to clean my coffin or whatever in the morning.
Oh,
Ugh,
humans can be so strong-willed.
absolutely. Yes, but squirt, and then she goes away. So
Well, I see you've learned that trick already. That's good to know.
I learned it because of watching her with our cats. So um, do you have any thoughts on robotic domination of Earth?
Well, I'm all for it, really. I mean, you mentioned Denny's.
I
I
did.
love Denny's.
I love Denny's too. Have you seen the little robot that delivers food?
Hilarious.
It is because it's so just pointless and damaged. So it never does
But
its
no less pointless and damaged than your average human.
probably.
I have occasion to see those because portals from the clown realm open up, they tend to open near Denny's around 2 and 3 in the morning.
Well, that's the prime time to go to Denny's. It's 2 or 3 in the morning. I love going to a Denny's that late at night. I mean, it's kind of like lunchtime for me, but um that's when all the really drunk people are hanging out in Denny's. So if I'm looking to, have like a
A Bloody Mary, perhaps?
a Bloody Mary, I will find Mary who is in her cups and trying like hell to choke down a pancake and have a little buzz go on. So, um although I will say it was also Denny's was the first time that I partook of marijuana blood, which was fantastic because back in my day, the reefer was, demonized completely. So it was nice to have it just so readily available and just right there, like a buffet. So yes.
Oh, yes. I love messing with the humans when they've ingested that.
I bet. A
No
Meryl.
one ever believes them. It's hilarious.
Oh yes, you just walking in on like a campground full of shrooming humans is one of the best things that, you know, paranormal entities such as yourself or me or cryptids or ghosts, so great. It's like the
I
best.
highly recommend it to anyone in our profession, as it were.
Absolutely. So what is your purpose? So you try to make people laugh with severed limbs. Is there are there any other gags that you rely upon?
Oh, well, my dear, I'm in the process of developing quite a few tricks with banana peels. There's a
Ah,
lot of promise there.
so like slipping on a banana peel, or are you trying
Yes, yes,
to peel?
exactly. Yes, slipping on them near manhole covers is a nice place to do it. Elevator shafts,
Oh,
always a big laugh. Did you know that the man who went over the Niagara Falls in a barrel survived, but later died because he stepped on an orange peel and slipped?
I did not know that at all. Oh my goodness. How ironic, how sad, but just also really funny in a terrible sort of way. Which
Oh, yes, it's like the lightning rod peddler that was struck by lightning and killed. These are the kinds of tricks I wish I could take credit for.
Well, you just got to think outside of the box, I suppose.
Oh, that's a sore subject for me, Val. I'm very sorry. I started out my life as a jack in the box, you know.
Did you? That is, that actually makes a lot of sense now that, talking about trying to make people laugh with severed limbs and everything. Because the Jack in the Box, I think, is the first sort of experience that children have with fear and funny at the same time, you
Oh,
know?
yes, the surprise spring. Hilarious. Children crying. It's so good.
I mean, there is a great line between horror and comedy, especially when it comes to film and everything. And it's so great because it's like, the ha-has, the funnies are so close to screaming. You can scream laughing, and then you can laugh nervously because you're so scared. There's just this great sort of gray area between those where they're so married. And so I love this idea of you trying to marry those in more conventional areas of clowning, you know?
Oh, yes, just a twisting fate, as it were. The old weird ways. Weird with a Y, don't you know?
Ah, yes, the weirding ways, indeed. I'm well versed. I actually had a tutor back in the day. I'm actually from 16 blah blah blah. And I was actually going to be burned as a witch over in England. And then I was actually saved by my maker. So, um
Oh, my dear, you don't look a day over 300.
oh my goodness. Oh, you rascal. Oh, that is so remember, flattery gets you everywhere.
Oh, very. Would you like to smell the flower on my lapel?
Sure. Let me just
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. It's filled with holy water. It'll just squirt you. I wouldn't do
Oh
that to
my.
you, Val.
Yeah, well, no, now that is just a terrible gag. No. Oh, holy water. No, thank you. Although I will.
Well, one can't be too safe when sitting with a vampire. I didn't know which kind of vampire you were.
Oh yes. I am a just a regular vampire. I'm not UV tolerant. I don't sparkle, I burn. And yeah, I garlic is okay with me, I will say. Um,
Yes, yes, yes. See, what I was afraid of was the time vampires. Have you met these?
no, I don't believe I have. What is a time vampire?
Well, I have occasion to assume human form and look less clownish. And there's always these people that are in my way, wasting my time. Time vampires, I call them. They're terrible.
Oh,
I
yeah.
squirt them with holy water, but they just waste more of my time yelling at me.
Yes, time vampires. Okay, I can now understand time vampires. Um,
If you're just the blood sucking type, that's fine. I love that.
yes, blood sucking all day, every day. And I value other people's time, so that's why this show is usually very short. Um, but energy vampires, that's another one.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not a fan of that.
Absolutely rotten.
Yes. And it's sometimes it's so sad because sometimes they don't even know they're an energy vampire and it's just so sad, because it's like they could be a lovely person, but halfway through a conversation, you're just falling asleep completely. So, mm, not my
Well, I just assume my true form when that happens, and it shuts them up pretty quick.
your true form. Ooh,
Oh, yes, would you like to see it?
sure.
It'll play well on your audio medium.
Okay.
Here it is.
Ah, ah, oh my goodness. Um, yes.
Okay, back to clowning.
Okay. Woo. Oh, yes, that was for anybody who might be watching the video in the future, I've blurred it out for you because it was way too scary for human eyes. Literally it would have turned your hair white or killed you. So, that's why the screen was blurry, just FYI.
There
Um
was this one person that turned into a pillar of salt. Hilarious.
the things you find hilarious is what I'm finding hilarious. It's just pillar of salt. Just the funniest thing I can think of is a pillar of salt. Um, oh my goodness. Um, whew. So, since you've been on Earth and everything, have you run into any of the Earthbound cryptids that live here? Have you run into, I don't know, Bigfoot or Mothman or anybody per se? Maybe the Goat Man or
Oh, yes, I ran into the Jersey Devil.
love the Jersey Devil.
That's
Yes.
back when I was a roadie for Bruce Springsteen.
You roadied for Bruce Springsteen. Wow.
Well, I was hanging with a crew of gremlins and we were just kind of messing with his stuff. But I met the Jersey Devil there, and he was a fine chap. Nice fellow.
Mhm. Yes. Actually, misconstrued as like very quite evil and kind of a jerk, but like actually, the Jersey Devil can be a sweetheart. Um, there was actually once I broke a heel at a party once, and he was kind enough to fashion me a replacement from one of his old cast-off hoof. What are those? Horseshoes, but like hoof shoes that were, more cloven hoof shaped, which is perfect for heels. So he like fashioned like, blue fire and everything. It was great. And just put it right onto my heel, fixed it right up. Just the sweetest person.
Oh,
Yes.
uh, fortunate that you're not one of the Fae. Sometimes the iron doesn't work so well with them.
Yes, yes. Luckily this was like a fayless event. It was mostly just corporeal cryptids and monsters for the most part. It was a Samhain bonfire a couple of years ago. So,
Oh, a no Fae affair.
no Fey affair for the Samhain bonfire. But I hold nothing against the Fae. They're just, they're clicky a little bit. Not so
Oh,
into
yes.
cryptids and monsters, but I'm on speaking
When you
terms.
do invite them, they tend to be wallflowers, just sniping at everyone.
Oh, absolutely. And playing pranks. That's the other thing, is that I am not a prank fan. I mean, like, a joke is fine. Joke is fine. I like a joke, whatever. But mean pranks, I'm not into that. Turning people into animals and it's just a whole thing. And I just think it's a little bit elitist, to just like start turning people into other things. So,
Oh, I understand completely.
yes.
Uh, I learned a lot of my tricks from my good friend Jeff, back on the Isle of Man. Have you ever met Jeff?
I have not met Jeff. Who's
He's a
Jeff?
little mongoose with hands and feet. He's hilarious.
He sounds hilarious. Jeff, the mongoose with hands and feet. Wow. And so he taught you a lot of tricks. What's your favorite trick that he's taught you so far?
Well, this one, this one's, this one's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you take a brick, right,
Uh-huh.
and then you throw it at someone. It's so funny. Oh my goodness. The
Wow.
look on their faces.
I would imagine so. My God. It doesn't seem so much like a trick as it is assault. But I I
No, 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 no. When they see my true form, that's assault.
you know what? After seeing your true form, I think I would have to agree that that is truly an assault on the senses. No offense, of course, but I believe, that's the point. So,
Indeed, my dear, indeed.
well, Ralph, my dear friend, I appreciate you being on the show, and I have learned a lot about humor and tricks. But now we're going to get into some paranormal gossip. For tonight's paranormal gossip, the pukwudgie is in a little bit of hot water with the paranormal community. And by paranormal community, I don't mean the humans that find themselves to be quote unquote ghost hunters and tarot readers and witches and all that stuff. I'm talking about the entities themselves, the ghosts, the cryptids, the vampires, the phantom clowns, our paranormal community, essentially. Anyway, Pukwudgie's in a little bit of hot water because anytime a cryptid or a ghost or whatever kind of reveals things, gives a little bit of insider baseball to humans, we do not take kindly to that. So a Pukwudgie recently decided to go to a music festival, um, which is a great place for a pukwudgie to be because everybody is pretty much high out of their minds on drugs. So, a great place for pukwudgies to go and play dirty, dirty tricks on them because nobody believes what they're doing and everything. And it's like, oh, yeah, sure, you saw this little wild man in the woods just coming around and disappearing, and yeah, okay, sure. However, one of the pukwudgies that went to this music festival to mess around with these drug-addled music festival goers took it upon himself to actually go up to the stage where a DJ was playing and decided to go ahead and try his hand at being a DJ. Put on the headphones, started messing around with the turntables and everything else. Um, was surprisingly good, actually. Dropped the bass with the greatest of ease, it seemed, which was the most surprising part. And then all these drug-addled people were watching and could not believe their minds. I mean, they've seen robots, DJing. They've seen dead mice DJing. They've seen all manner of like marshmallow heads DJing. They had never seen a pukwudgie though. And so the problem though is that the pukwudgie then got on the mic and started shouting out his homeboys in the back, messing around with other people, and started talking about how pukwudgies were uh, left behind in the paranormal community by their peers, by their fellow cryptids and ghosts and that sort of thing. Started talking about how they're looked down upon and everything. And the crowd started to kind of sober up and didn't really get what was going on. Not to mention, most of the security guards were sober and had no idea what was going on. Went to go and try and get the pukwudgie, disappeared, of course, because that's what pukwudgies do. So now there was like a whole music festival of people. Luckily, a group of elder pukwudgies were there, erased a bunch of memories because apparently they can do that too. Pukwudgies are a crazy lot. And yeah, so pukwudgies great at pulling pranks and being little jokesters. Um, Not so great at DJing and keeping their mouths shut though. But yes. But pukwudgies are right in the vein of your kind of humor though, I think, Ralph. Am I incorrect in that?
Oh yes, in the early '80s, when I was in Boston, I traveled south into the Bridgewater Triangle and hung out with the pukwudgies.
Ah.
Uh, I would say that young pukwudgie is a sellout.
Yeah, you think so? He's sell
I
out?
can't imagine he'd find much favor with the humans after pushing so many off the cliffs. Which, I might add, is hilarious. It's so funny. Oh, the sound they make when they hit the bottom. Splat.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, it's almost ASMR, just that kind of splat, that kind of
Oh,
pop.
my dear, if I could have that on a loop, I could I could sleep so well. I'd just laugh myself to sleep.
Oh my goodness. Well, Ralph the Phantom Clown, thank you so much for being on the show. I have laughed so much, even though I think I'm mostly laughing at you laughing at what you think is funny. But I welcome you back to the attic anytime you want to come back.
Oh, I didn't plan on leaving. I'll just wait over here. I like it in here. I might stay. I'll stay in the corner. I'll be quiet.
Yeah, Allie, yes, we have another house guest for a while. I hope you enjoy collecting paranormal entities.
How does she feel about banana peels?
She's human. She can't stop talking about how healthy bananas are. So, I'm
How
sure
lovely, lovely.
But I do hope you do find your way back to the clown phantom realm at some point to get back home. So,
Oh, if I ever get my gloved hands on that wizard that closed the door.
it's interesting this wizard did he have his beard dyed purple by chance?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
His his beard was kind of gray.
Oh, it was a gray beard. Interesting. Well, I'll put the word out and see if we can find this bastard and have him get you home. Anyway, thank you so much for being on the show, Ralph, and I hope you get comfy.
Absolutely, my dear. Thank you for having me on.
Well, that's all for the show tonight, kiddies. Remember, embrace the dark, the strange, and unusual. It just may embrace you back. Thanks to AP Strange for being our guest today. You can find him at apstrange.com, on YouTube with a series of selections from the Strange Library. Also, check out his podcast, The AP Strange Show, wherever you get your podcasts.
Please consider becoming a Patreon member of the show. You can be a Baby Bat Sticker Club member where you get stickers every month, or you can be a Tarot Speakeasy member where you can get a tarot reading and tarot cards sent to you every month. Please subscribe on patreon.com/The Vampire Talk Show. This has been an Opus Nox Media production. To find out more, go to opusnoxmedia.com.